It's Shabalala! Goal! Bafana Bafana! Goal for South Africa! Goal!
Is it pride, frustration, nostalgia, or that feeling of we should be doing better than this? Bafana Bafana is not just a football team, it is a reflection of South Africa itself. Our highs, our heartbreaks, our missed chances, and our stubborn belief that things can get better. This is the story of where Bafana Bafana comes from, how they rose, how they fell, why fans drifted away, and why for the first time in a long time, people are whispering the words golden generation as we look forward to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Bafana Bafana's story officially began in 1992, but South African football existed long before that. The problem was sporting isolation. Due to the apartheid regime, South Africa was prohibited from participating in all FIFA competitions for decades. While other African countries like Cameroon, Nigeria, and Ghana were building their football prints around the continent, South Africa was sidelined from the global football stage. When FIFA lifted the ban in 1992, Bafana Bafana did not just enter international football, they burst into it. On a rainy day in Durban on the 7th of July 1992, Bafana Bafana played their first official friendly match against Cameroon.
It was our first international friendly game against Cameroon,
with Dr. Kumalo converting a 79th minute penalty into a 1-0 victory. If you want to understand why older fans still defend Bafana Bafana so passionately, look at AFCON 1996. South Africa hosted the tournament, and this is when the real magic happened. The atmosphere was electrifying. Football was not just a sport, it was healing. Under the leadership of Clive Barker, with players like Neil Tovey, Dr. Kumalo, Lucas Radebe, Mark Fish, and John Shoes Moshoyu, Bafana did not just participate, they dominated. And who could ever forget the final victory against Tunisia? Mark Williams coming off the bench to score 2 goals in 2 minutes, sending 80,000 people at FNB Stadium into a frenzy. It was not just a trophy, it was the Rainbow Nation manifesting on a football pitch. That win is still Bafana Bafana's greatest achievement. They followed it up by reaching the 1998 final, losing 2-0 to Egypt, and qualified for the 1998 World Cup in France and the 2002 World Cup Japan and South Korea. During the 1998 World Cup, South Africa lost 3-0 against France and drew 2 of their group games with Denmark and Saudi Arabia. They were competitive, fearless, and respected. Bafana Bafana returned to the 2002 World Cup again and secured a victory against Slovenia, and narrowly missing the knockout stage due to goal difference.
Emphatically done!
And then things started to unravel. But as the saying goes, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. After reaching the 1998 World Cup and the 2002 World Cup, the foundation began to crack. Between 2004 to 2018, Bafana Bafana went into what many fans now call the dark years. There was a lot of coaching instability, politics crawled into football decisions, Bafana Bafana failing to qualify for multiple tournaments, missed the 2006 and 2014 World Cups, tactical consistency vanished, and in the process, they lost their identity on the pitch. Players like Benny McCarthy, Stephen Pienaar, and Aaron Mokoena carried the team at different times, but consistency was missing. Fans started to get tired, stadiums were empty, and the belief faded. As McCarthy once said in an interview years later, "We had talent, but no direction. You cannot survive international football like that." Then came 2010. South Africa hosted the World Cup, the first World Cup on African soil. The Vuvuzelas, the opening ceremony, and Sifiwe Tshabalala's goal against Mexico, still one of the greatest World Cup goals. That moment felt like a turning point. But on the pitch, reality hit hard. Bafana Bafana became the first host youngest nation in World Cup history to be eliminated in the group stages. And once again, fans were left asking, what now? If there is one constant thing in Bafana Bafana's story, it is the fans. South Africans are brutally honest. They will sing for you one week and criticize you the next, but the love never disappears. When Bafana Bafana suffers a defeat, it hurts differently. When they win, the country feels lighter. That is why the criticism has always been so loud, not because fans hate the team, but because they know what is possible. Social media became ruthless for years. Players were questioned and SAFA was criticized openly, and honestly, a lot of it was deserved. The real change did not come with headlines. It came quietly. Youth footballers began receiving more attention. Clubs started trusting young players. Scouting improved. Coaching continuity became a priority. And then Hugo Broos arrived. When Broos was appointed in 2021, many fans were skeptical. He was outspoken, stubborn, and not interested in reputation. He famously said, "I do not care about names, I care about performance." And he meant it. Older, underperforming players were dropped and young players were trusted. Discipline became non-negotiable. For the first time in years, Bafana Bafana had a clear football identity. This generation is not flashy, it is balanced. Ronwen Williams, captain of the national team and one of the best goalkeepers in Africa. His AFCON 2023 performance, especially the penalty shootouts, elevated him to elite status. Teboho Mokoena is the engine. He covers ground, dictates the tempo, and scores crucial goals. Bekezeli Mbokazi, the no-nonsense defender, positionally strong and brave under pressure. Stefano Sithole, underrated, tactically intelligent, does the dirty work that allows others to shine. Evidence Magopa and Lyle Foster. Physical presence, work rate, modern forwards who press, link play, and fight. This squad might not have global superstars, but they play for each other and that matters. Expectations were mixed. South Africa was grouped with Mali, Tunisia, and Namibia. Most analysts predicted a group stage exit. Instead, Bafana Bafana beat Namibia convincingly with a 4-0 victory, but they lost 2-0 against Mali and played a draw against Tunisia. They advanced and proceeded to eliminate Morocco with a 2-0 win in the knockout stages. They reached the semifinals and finished third, beating DR Congo on penalties. For the first time in years, South Africa was not just competitive, they were respected. This was the first time since the year 2000 that South Africa reached the AFCON semifinals. But the real story was Ronwen Williams. In the quarterfinal against Cape Verde, the Bafana Bafana captain did something extraordinary. He saved 4 out of 5 penalties, becoming the first goalkeeper to save 4 penalties in a single shootout. South Africa walked away with a bronze medal, but most importantly, they walked away with the respect of the nation. The fans were finally back and the memes stopped. Hugo Broos' tactical discipline and the players' fighting spirit did not just restore pride, it restored hope in the national team. Why are people calling this the golden generation? It is not because they are all playing for Real Madrid. It is because of their technical brilliance and tactical intelligence. Ronwen Williams, the best shot stopper in Africa, who was nominated for the Ballon d'Or for the Yashin Trophy in 2024. He revolutionized the sweeper keeper role for Bafana Bafana. Themba Zwane Mashishi. Even in his mid-30s, he is the conductor of the orchestra. His vision is unparalleled. Teboho Mokoena, the engine room, his long-range balls, and defensive positioning have made him the most sought-after midfielder on the continent. Kuliso Mudau, a right back that plays with the intensity of a winger and the grit of a center back. But it has not been a bed of roses, it has been a rocky road. The road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico is different. There were expanded teams, more African slots, and better preparation, though it was paved with pressure. Bafana Bafana was in Group C for the qualifiers, along with Rwanda, Benin, Nigeria, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe. A massive 2-0 win over Lesotho put Bafana Bafana in the driver's seat, but then came the Lesotho forfeit drama, an administrative nightmare where South Africa was sanctioned for fielding an illegible player Teboho Mokoena, resulting in a 3-0 loss on paper. It was a typical Bafana Bafana moment that threatened to derail everything. However, the team showed resilience. In the return leg against Zimbabwe, Thapelo Morena scored 2 goals to secure a 3-1 victory, keeping the dream alive. Under Broos's leadership, the team had maintained one of the highest clean sheet percentages in Africa. They had evolved from a team that was soft to a team that is solid. One of the most recent controversies involved a young star, Mbekezeli Mbokazi, the former Orlando Pirates defender. Broos publicly criticized the lack of guidance for the young player after Mbokazi arrived late at the Bafana Bafana camp. Broos had to issue a formal apology after his comments were misinterpreted as being racially insensitive. So why should we believe? Why is this time different? For the first time in years, there is a clear plan. There is continuity, meaning most of the squad players already play together at Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, respectively. They have a telepathic understanding on the pitch. Players like Relebo Hile Mofokeng are being integrated early, ensuring the cycle continues. Whether you like him or not, Hugo Broos has instilled a winning mentality. He does not care about reputations, he cares about results. But let's be honest, SAFA still has a lot of issues. Development has improved, but it is not where it should be. Players still don't get enough game time at club level. Injuries remain a concern, and let's not sugarcoat it. South Africa is still short of top-level strikers. So when people say golden generation, that doesn't mean trophies are guaranteed. What it really means is potential, and that alone has been missing for a long time. And then there's the off-field stuff, because with South African football, there's always something. In 2025, the arrest of SAFA President Danny Jordan on charges of fraud and theft hit the game hard. For a lot of fans, it wasn't shock, it was frustration, that feeling of, here we go again. People started asking the same old questions. Can the team move forward if people at the top keep letting the game down? Even within the camp, things were not always been smooth. Remember the situation with Mbekezeli Mbokazi, the former Orlando Pirates defender? When he arrived late at the Bafana Bafana camp, Hugo Broos spoke openly about what he felt was a lack of guidance around the young player. What should have been a football conversation quickly turned into a bigger issue, with some fans feeling his comments crossed the line. Broos eventually apologized, saying his words were misunderstood, but the damage was already done. And that's the thing.
So I'm deeply hurt by what's happened in the recent days. And the worst part of that is that my family, my wife, my children and grandchildren have also suffered.
The team is moving forward, but it's doing so while carrying old baggage. A lot of governance issues, miscommunication, and pressure that young players shouldn't have to deal with. The talent is there, the belief is slowly coming back, but until South African football fully cleans up its house, every step forward comes with a bit of tension. So here's the real question. Is this finally the generation that carries South Africa back to the world stage, or is this just another chapter of South Africa has waited 24 years to return to the World Cup on merit, with the golden generation at the helm? Do you think Bafana Bafana can make it out of the group stages in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, or are we setting ourselves up for another heartbreak? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.